In today's video, I'm going to share my perspective after reading some summary of the Brain Rule. It is a very famous book and it will give us the cutting edge information, or we can say the insight about our brain, how our brain works, and what is the best way to optimal way of performance our brain so that we can achieve our goal and day-to-day task and everything. We think that brain is already evolved self, and it is from thousands of years. It has a very few innate nature or the ability which is always performing no matter what we are doing or not doing. And based on that, he emphasizes on the main eight rules, where if we understand all these things and make a conscious effort to work on that, then definitely our cognitive load is going to become our the unfair advantage when it's to dealing with day to day decision making, learning, recalling, and memorizing, and calming our mind or our brain. So the first rule is emphasis is on the doing the physical work or the exercise. No matter if it is a 20 minutes or 30 minutes, it's not required to work out for the hours like a gym or the bodybuilders like that, but the bare minimum bare minimum physical workout is always going to boost the oxygen flow to our brain, and it is stimulates the immunoglobulin neurons, or the hormonal activity is going to increase, and so that it will secrete the sufficient energy for our work or our day to day activity like learning or making decision based on that. And the second thing is that the need of regular exercise is to enhance overall brain health. And second rule is that the human brain is evolved. Our brain is not made out of absurd thing, because it has evolved throughout the time span of thousands and thousands and over. And the trial brain when formed, so that a trial brain is has been discovered, and then all the cognitive functions and all the deliberate actions behaviors has been recognized or analyzed by the scientists, and come to the point that it is based on that theory our brain is always and always work for in a survival mode, or the constantly adapting and evolving, because it meant for us to save us and make us make us effortful to make a good choice when it's come to dealing with any activity, and so that we can make a good choice and can make ourselves safer as well. And the third thing is every brain is wired differently, because this is like a fingerprint. All the humans being in our planet earth is totally different, totally unique by the DNA expressions or the genes expression. And so the same is our brain is also has been affected by those developmental stage of our genome system. So each person's brain develops uniquely based on the genetics and expression of it. And sometimes there is a specific kind of disorders or the any default or the error also has been evolved throughout that process, and it will may not work effectively or in optimal way. And the third thing is, what the third rule is, our the precious thing when it's come to cognitive load or the our brain's optimal performance, there is a attention. In a psychology, the lot of people or the lot of psychologists always try to focus on the learning about the attention, how our attention work in today's time, right from the childhood or even the whenever the baby is born, or the all the childhood infant are always crying or noting to make to note our attention through the crying or through different expression. And if it's come to economics or the financial, those are the things which is most grabbing our attention, that is going to make more money, or always that is going to be a very effective. So the brain prioritizes the survival related instinct or the stimuluses, and throws out everything other than which is not related to the our survival mode. So attention is something like we always, our mind is preoccupied with the some we are calling it as thoughts, or thinking about something or something to be fixed. So, and anything which is catching our attention or anything that is important to us, everything is going to be filtered by our brain, and we put attention on the most important thing which is related to us, which is beneficial or harmful to us. Other everything other than that, we are throw it away anyway. And the fifth rule is about the short term memory or the long term memory, and this is the it is work like our computer memory as well, because short term memory is basically the work of short term memory is to need to be repeat for it to be encoded into long term memory. Repetitions or strengthen our recalling brain or recalling memory, so that we can perform based on that short term memory, and there is no need to be occupied for the longer time. And when it's come to long term memory, there is a neural pathway, there is a hardwire and a capturing mechanism in work, because something is emotionally charged or something, some experience which has lead us to take a very rareful decisions, or the like some kind of trauma or some tragedy or some breakups or the rock bottom experience like that. All these things are captured in a manner so that it will recalling you, trigger you whenever this kind of situation is comes to you, and we will make a choiceful and handful of decision based of that experience. Rule number 7 is sleep well to think well. We are living in a very digital, fast pacing AI world, and we compromising our sleep for our work, for achieving our goal, and so called the busy work, and all the people are chasing something out of their own effort, and due to the some influencer or some the authority bias prominent on the online space, and lot of you try to do something based on the influence. And if you are so much caught up by the influence, and if you are not taking sleep as a one prime factor, then our brain's capacity to work effectively and optimally is reduced by 47%. There is a study reveals all these things about the sleep thing, because during the sleep what actually brain undergoes on the process of the restoration, under the process of the recharge and rebuilding, and it will remove the all the toxins which is accumulated or gathered during our day to day lifestyle. So sleep is one of the most underrated and overly underrated things we are dealing with uh, in today's time. And rule number 8 is about stress. Stressed brain don't learn the same way, or stressed brain don't work optimally, because anytime we get worried or we stressed, we are anxious, or we going under the perpetual state of worrying. The story of worry is always in our mind. So in that condition, if we want to take a decision, if we are in a situation where we have to learn, we have to do something, we will forget, we will missed out, or we will hurry up, or we dealing with a lot of deadlines. All these things are prone to the stressed brain, and when our brain is stressed, there is no chance we can do the good thing. And the chronic stress is the one of the epidemic becoming for the specific knowledge worker, because we always engage in some kind of communication, whether digital or the physical, or it is kind of working in the environment itself. And brain rule number 9 is sensory integration stimulates more of the senses. Learning improves, sensory integration means this, we are sensing or the gathering information throughout our five senses, which is always dwelling in between our environment, where we live, where we work, where we function, we traveling, and we do some kind of work through the space and time in the dynamics of in the dynamics of the time and space. So that if our sensory functioning is not proper, and which is not organized in a manner which is helpful to us, then this integration making us suffering to do effective work as well. And rule number 10 is the vision triumph all the senses. And to make all these things organized, simplified, or the prioritized, if we are not cultivate, or if we are not working as per our value, as per our ideal vision or the purpose or the mission, because lot of people are working randomly with what the society has assigned to us by the cultural expectation or the cultural rules or the our uh, our work or the profession. And those people are who are more to inclined to work on their values, they identify their values, they choose their working or profession, then the same value, they are driven by the vision, they're the principle, they're the operating system like a constitution. All is this is going to be boost the performance of the brain and cognitive load by the 60 to 70%. So if you are not working on that, if you the don't know our why, or we can say don't know our the purpose or the mission, and if we once we find we get a new birth to this planet, this is so much powerful. And when it's come to myself, because I am always searching and exploring my curiosity to find out my values, because value finding value is not so much easy, and it is demonstrated from our work and day-to-day activity as well, and this will triggering us to directing us. So the what is the thing that is you are must more careful than all other people, and if you are working towards that and we choosing the profession based on that, this will going to boost our performance in the very drastic manner. And it must be the one priority we must try to look up for, so that we should not get always in a stress mode, on the survival mode, or in a worry or the panic, or any kind of any kind of triggers that is inducing the stress response to our brain. Thanks for watching. I will come back tomorrow again.